How Michelle Yeoh influenced Star Trek. Section 31 is visual style explained by director. A Woman on Fire. When Paramount officially greenlit Star Trek. Section 31. Fans were curious not just about the story of Starfleet's shadowy intelligence agency, but also about how the film would look. For decades, Star Trek has carried a visual language rooted in utopian optimism. Sleek starships, brightly lit bridges, and crisp Federation uniforms. But Section 31 is built on secrecy, moral ambiguity, and espionage. According to director Alice Troughton, the creative key to bringing this darker vision of the universe to life was none other than Michelle Yeoh herself. She's a woman on fire, Troughton recently explained in an interview. Michelle doesn't just play Emperor Georgiou. Her presence defines the entire tone of the film. We built the visual language around her energy. Star Trek's first true spy thriller, Section 31 marks new territory for Star Trek. Where the mainline series often presents shining ships and diplomacy, this movie leans into shadows, coded messages, and double agents. Troughton wanted audiences to feel the tension visually. Harsh contrasts of light and dark, space is filled with cold metallic textures, and cinematography that mirrors Georgiou's moral complexity. Yet Yeoh's influence meant this wasn't simply going to be a gray or grimdark spy film. Instead, the director leaned into fire, gold, and crimson, colors that reflect both Georgiou's Terran origins and Yeoh's commanding presence. Michelle has this regal fire about her, Troughton said. Even in Silas, she burns through the frame. That gave us our visual anchor. Michelle Yeoh as the lens. Troughton and cinematographer Colin Watkinson of The Handmaid's Tale admitted they often lit scenes specifically around Yeoh. It's unusual, Watkinson explained, but we treated her like a source of light in the film. Whether it's a reflection off her eyes or a glint of gold on her uniform, she becomes the visual spark in an otherwise shadowy world. Yeoh's martial arts background also shaped the visual design of action sequences. Unlike standard Star Trek firefights, Section 31 uses more physicality in kinetic combat. Troughton noted that Yeoh's style, fluid yet explosive, inspired camera movements. Michelle doesn't just move through a room, she said. She owns it. So our cameras follow her like she's drawing gravity. This resulted in fight sequences where light sources seem to flare when Yeoh moves, almost as if the environment itself is reacting to her energy. Fire as a motif. The film's working title during production was reportedly Fire Within, a nod to Georgiou's inner conflict and Yeoh's influence on the aesthetic. While the final title returned to the franchise staple Section 31, the fiery motif remained. Troughton explained that Yeoh's Academy Award-winning role in Everything Everywhere All at Once left an imprint on her thinking. Watching Michelle in that film taught us that chaos can be elegant, she said. Her ability to balance rage, grief, humor, and poise made us rethink how we use color and light. Fire destroys, but it also purifies. That became our metaphor for Georgiou. Accordingly, Section 31 embraces flickering flames, burning embers, and golden illumination, whether it's from alien architecture, clandestine weapons, or simple lighting cues. In several key shots, Yeoh's Georgiou is framed with literal firelight behind her, underscoring the director's vision of her as both destroyer and redeemer. Breaking Star Trek's visual rules. Every Star Trek project faces a balancing act. Respect the franchise's legacy while finding its own identity. Troughton admitted that Yeoh gave her license to break the rules. With Michelle, you don't have to play it safe. Her screen presence is already a disruption, powerful, dangerous, unpredictable, that let us experiment visually in ways you wouldn't normally associate with Star Trek. For instance, Federation settings in the film remain sleek and brightly lit, but once Georgiou enters Section 31's sphere, the aesthetic shifts dramatically. More inspired shadows, fractured mirrors, even handheld camera work that breaks the franchise's traditionally clean style. It's almost like two different Star Treks colliding, Watkinson explained, and Michelle is the bridge between them. Yeoh's collaboration, perhaps most importantly, Yeoh wasn't a passive figure in this process. Troughton emphasized that she actively contributed ideas to costume design, choreography, and even the color palette. Michelle thinks like a filmmaker, she said. She'd say, what if the red on this uniform isn't Federation red, but something deeper, almost like blood? And suddenly, we're off down a new path. Yeoh's influence extended to her co-stars as well. Several actors have mentioned that working opposite her changed the way they perform physically. She carries herself with such command. One cast member shared, you find yourself straightening your posture, adjusting your movements, and the cameras pick that up. She elevates everyone around her. The future of Star Trek's visual evolution. If Section 31 succeeds, it could reshape how Star Trek approaches its visual identity. just as Discovery modernized ship design and Strange New Worlds reinvigorated classic retrofuturism. Section May 31st introduced a new aesthetic of espionage noir.